please help me welcome Ms. Christine Day.
Well, how wonderful it is to see everyone here and to be here with you. And as usual, there's a tremendous amount of love coming through. I always get emotional because that love comes right through me into my heart. And that love is a part of us. We all carry a unique frequency of that divine love that we are. And so it's such a beautiful day, Mother's Day. Well, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. And the Pleiadians were speaking to me this morning, talking about, reminding me that, or actually they talked to me years ago about motherhood, because we all know as a mother, anyone who's out there as a mother, we know it's an ongoing, non-stop process with our children. And it doesn't matter how old they get, they actually seem to need us more as they get older, not less. That's been my experience anyway, and it's always a gift to be with our children. But sometimes we hold these things inside of us around our children, that we haven't done enough or we haven't done it right. And the Pleiadians reminded me years ago that our true role as mothers is just simply to love our children. To love them unconditionally, no matter what they're doing, just to give them the love and let them know that they're loved. That carries that very beautiful foundation for them to have the courage to live their lives. And so I want to say that to everyone out here, that we as mothers are enough just loving our children. And sometimes with society's roles put on us of what we should be as mothers, it becomes very overwhelming. And we have a lot of maybe guilt or regrets on not being enough for our children. But we are human. And the Pleiadians say we're always enough. And that goes for everyone here in this room, whether we're male or female, we are enough just as we are. And I think that's important. So I just wanted to start out today acknowledging that and acknowledging the mothers, but acknowledging us all for being in our lives and having the courage to be here and to live as a human being on this planet. And then to evolve. So we're talking about today the importance of service as spiritual practice. And that got me thinking, actually, because that's my life. I am in service. And as I'm in service, you've probably all heard me say it before, or those who have been with me before, that I'm here for myself. I'm here this morning for me. And because I'm here for me, that means I'm totally connected to myself right now in my own heart. And totally committed to myself in this moment, which interconnects me naturally with all of you. And that is really what service is that we give service to others through our own spiritual connection and focus on our own hearts. Because we are blessed beings. And we are love. Our components that make us up on our sacred nature is love. That's what we are. We are love. We have our human element, we have our sacred element, our higher self. And this is our transitional time of moving from just having that human third-dimensional illusion and the drama and the limitation and the lack that our human ego mind holds. It doesn't know anything beyond the third dimension. And we have then the vastness of our limitless spiritual light, the sacred nature that we are. We're a multi-dimensional being having a human experience, and we're making the transition of being a multi-dimensional being and yes, having that human component, that our sacred nature supports and brings the love to and towards. So this service orientation, to give service to humanity, is a tricky thing because the ego mind wants to jump in and bring that service out, but at the expense of yourself. And you can never ever bring service to humanity at the expense of yourself. It's about always being mindful and dedicated to your own heart as you work with humanity, as you bring forth yourself towards others in service. There needs to be the mindfulness of your own heart that is playing a very important role, because by connecting to the heart, you connect to the love, the vast love, and that can move forward and hold others and support others in their alignment to themselves. You can't remake someone else. You can simply hold a mirror within yourself. That is service to humanity. Holding that mirror silently but in stillness, and allow that reflection of your love to allow the other person to align to theirs. And it's not about doing it impeccably. We're not looking at perfection here. We're talking about moments of being connected to the vastness of your heart. Your heart is your link into your sacred nature. It is your multidimensional tool. It is where the love exists within you. You are the love. If you can open to moments of that connection to your heart, then you become a tool to be of service to humanity. And that's what's so important. Not letting the ego mind feeling really important. I'm going to go and help these people. Now that creates separation, because what you're saying there with that energy is those people need me. And no one needs you. You need yourself. Everybody has the full potential. They have their own sacred nature within them. They each have. There's not one person more or less than another here. We each carry within us the sacredness of our unique divine aspect of that God light that we are. And it can be connected and realized at any moment. At any moment. You don't have to wait till you're perfect to align to your God light. As the Pleiadians say, we're perfectly imperfect as a human being. We're not going to get it right. We're not going to do it perfectly in our human nature, and nor should we. That's to be celebrated and honored. We're not going to try and do it perfectly. We're going to receive moments of consciously choosing to come into the heart and move into that aspect, that essence of the love that we are, that sacred space that we are. That is a much larger part than our human element, but we haven't been living that. But we can now. We can step into this new part of ourselves. And we've been given this incredible gift on the 27th of April. There was the awakening of the dove on this planet. It's just happened on this earth plane. Now, people say, well, what is that? What happened? Well, the Christed energy reseeded through all of our hearts on the 27th of April. It brought in a new era of God consciousness light to the planet, and this has stabilized and anchored within all of our hearts. This seeding of the Christ light, the love, and a series of veils lifted at that time. all the sacred sites interconnected at that moment with this golden webbing that really surrounds now the earth plane. So we're being held in this energetic womb to birth ourselves on another level. We have been given a reset energy, and it's happened through the heart space, so that there is a pulse that is now beating within our own hearts that resonates for the first time with the rest of our resident universe. We are actually transmitting this frequency pulse within our own hearts of this Christed energy. And it's going out into our resident universe to where you play a very important role within the God consciousness state. What this really means in real terms is you have an opportunity to move into the sacred nature of yourself much more easily than ever before. And the spiritual realms, with the new energy on our earth plane that is stable and anchored, it's not going anywhere. The spiritual realms are going to be playing a new profile here on the planet to support you in your awakening, in entering your heart and aligning into that space of your God light. You are blessed, a blessed being of light, of love. Each one of us carries that unique frequency so that we can do our work. We can be of service to humanity and understand we are the way showers for that. Every one of us is a way shower. Whether you recognize yourself right now or not as a way shower, you are. Because we have been given the consciousness to open up to something more within ourselves. Some of us are being compelled to move in this consciousness path right now. And all of you are here is because you're searching. You know there's something more, and you're starting to open in a new way to who you are. This is part of your service, your pre-agreement in this lifetime is for us to come together collectively in service and come back home into the heart space to align to that sacred God light that we are and become the mirror for the rest of humanity. Each one of us has our own divine unique frequency of love within. Every one of you carries that uniqueness within you. There is no one like you in the entire resonant universe. You carry that unique frequency, that unique vibration of love. And as you choose to consciously take a step into your heart and engage in this new reset energy that we have all received from that Christed energy, as we consciously choose, because we have free will, we have to step forward and bring our awareness into that space of our hearts and reclaim that which we are. There's an activation that goes outwards across the earth plane. We carry that mirror of light for the rest of humanity so they can much more easily align to their consciousness of God light. And if we join collectively in groups and honor each other for all that we are, not through the human element of our ego that makes assessments and feels like almost like needs to be in some sort of competition with somebody else. No, or makes ourselves feel like we have to be better than somebody else or do it perfectly. No, we honor everyone for their unique divine aspect, that God light that they carry, because we together fit perfectly like a jigsaw fitting into a jigsaw puzzle. Each one of you is that unique jigsaw puzzle piece. And as you come home to yourself, your piece of the puzzle fits in perfectly and expands the mirror. This is part of service. This is service. Your own unique divine aspect fitting perfectly in the jigsaw puzzle. And then once you align to that space, you come together with others, and together you create a resonance, a sacred resonance of light. As a collective energy, as a collective consciousness of God light, that even builds the mirror further. And this is where we're being called into that service. But the focus is here within you. It's not out looking at this person could do with some help. Actually, look at that person. I mean, they need to know what they're doing. Service is honoring each individual where they are in this moment of time. It doesn't come with judgment. It comes with witnessing and love. Understanding and honoring each individual, knowing that they will find their way in the right moment as I have found my way. It's letting go of arrogance, because service brings you into being humble. You live a simple life of service. And in that, in my service in the world, it touches my heart, and I am filled with the gratitude as I get to witness others stepping forward into themselves. I hold an energetic platform. That is my role. And that platform is my mirror of my own self-love. Knowing my humanness, my idiosyncrasies, my imperfection, celebrating that, and not judging myself. As the Pleiadians say, the enlightenment process comes not through perfection, but through accepting our imperfection. Accepting our imperfection, self-acceptance. That is the enlightenment process. And so as I hold the platform of my own self-acceptance of my vast imperfections and idiosyncrasies as a human being, and I celebrate that within myself, and I hold myself with that love and compassion, but I hold it in my platform, which allows others to do the same, to come back home, to let go of the internal war of that separation, to work with that. Not doing it perfectly. You'll have moments of self-judgment, but moments of self-acceptance, of self-love. That's what matters. That's service to humanity. Because one moment of self-acceptance by you, within yourself, within your own heart, shifts every cell in your body. The whole cycle changes. When you choose one moment of that, that's exciting. That is glorious. That is beautiful. And you are beautiful. You are beautiful in your love, in the vastness of your love that is within your heart. And as you let go of that separation inside yourself, of that self-condemnation or guilt or shame, and just let it fall away, and there's a lot of that happening at the moment because of the awakening of a dove. It allowed a huge shedding of density, old belief systems flowing off the body. So we become liberated But as you allow that separation to end, even in one moment, every cell transforms. And it doesn't go back. It's accumulative. So you get to birth yourself moment by moment by moment and expanding your mirror in service to humanity. And feeling the liberation within your own heart. And the human part that's been suffering and struggling. We all know suffering, it happens. Moments of it. Suffering is an aspect of a misperception of your human ego mind, wanting something different than what's right in front of you right now. So the ego mind isn't willing to accept your own creation that's right in front of you. It wants something different. It wants something over there, not this. But what you'll find is when you choose to embrace that creation that's right in front of you, and some of those creations can be pretty intense, and take a conscious breath and just open to it. Not to be afraid, but to feel the feelings that that creation brings up inside of you. Might be vulnerability, might be fear. Fear of not having enough. You know, some of us, we all have core issues we've come in to deal with, and they come up again and again and again. We go, oh my gosh, not again. But it's, you know, we recreate that which we still need to deal with. So every time you take an increment, maybe a moment of fear of not having enough, and you just choose to breathe through it and meet it, everything shifts inside of you. And you release one of those layers of maybe that core piece. Or maybe it's not being good enough, or trying to be perfect in order to be loved. All the stories we've been given about ourselves that we have chosen to take on. We are not victims here. We're playing this out, our stories in this lifetime. But as you open and work within that space, your platform, your mirror gets brighter, and your moments of aligning into the space of your own heart expands, and your service potential for humanity grows. Guess what? You don't have to wait till you're perfect in order to be of service in humanity. You simply need to be dedicated to moments of that within yourself. And then you carry an increment of that out into the world. That moment, that one moment you went into, oh my gosh, I was able to let go of that and just be in my heart. That is in you, alive. It allows an aspect of your God light to shine through and support you and support others because it's within your energetic field. So this is what we're being called to do at this time, is allow yourself to open the door even more completely. Moments of being in your heart, your newly seated Christed energy that's in your heart, to support you in your self-resurrection process. This is your time. You're being supported on so many levels since the 27th of April. It's like everything has shifted. And there's this new potential for you to build this platform, this mirror within you for service. Your own spiritual alignments is service for humanity. And then you can move out into the world and choose to be even more direct service if it feels right for you. But that is enough. Just right there, the work on yourself, the choosing to change and receive the sacred of yourself, coming home to yourself. That is you. That spiritual component is fully intact just beyond the veil. And you're enough right now. There's nothing you need to change in order to meet that spiritual higher self aspect. You can reclaim yourself and have moments of reclaiming yourself. Coming back to the sacred nature that is part of this transition. We've almost completed the third transition of this phase on the earth plane with this new receding of the Christ energy. And that Christed energy is the resurrection, the self-resurrection. You taking yourself off the cross. Yeah, you. You put yourself out there. No one else did it. You chose to take on all these things. And now, guess what? You can close a door of your heart. You can open a door of your heart. You can close a door to somebody. That closes your heart down. Or you can choose to reopen that doorway. What are you going to do? Let's open the doors. Set yourself free, because the only person who suffers when you close a door on someone else is you. Because you can't close a door on someone else and then receive that which is around you. Everything gets closed down. So how much are you willing to reopen? You need to investigate those areas in your life that are closed right now. Maybe your feelings were hurt. Maybe you were betrayed, really betrayed. Well, you participated in that experience. You're not a victim. None of us are victims here. So when you close a door on someone, you're saying, I'm a victim. And when you're a victim, guess what? You can't heal anything. You just stay a victim. What's the payoff for staying a victim right now? That ego mind, the ego that wants to be right. We need to let go of that attachment, the need to be right, the need to understand, which is highly overrated. Yeah, it's highly overrated. It's meaningless, actually. The need to understand just stops your process. And the ego mind always wants to know, always wants to understand, has one question after another, after another, after another. Stop answering the questions of your ego mind, because it's not who you are. The ego mind's attached to your story in life. You need to let go of your story. How much of your story are you still holding on to? These are important questions to ask yourself. I'm just posing them, but only you can ask the questions, these questions of yourself, and only you can answer them honestly. How much are you willing to allow this reset that is open through you, to utilize it? To just let yourself shift. Enough, isn't it? So examine your story. Witness where you're holding on, where you're still a victim. And you know what? If you look at something and you're going, oh my gosh, I've still got all this hurt, this pain, this anger, this rage. You can't pretend to let it go if it's still there. But breathe it through. Find the part of you, whether it's the child inside or the adult inside of you, that's still holding on. What is it inside of you that is hurting so badly? What part of it is holding you in that resistance and creating this suffering. Use the conscious breath, that's that breath in and out the mouth, that actually opens up and you get to see, to be revealed what it is that's in there that is, and it's something very simple sometimes. You go, oh my gosh, this is what it is. And you start to learn more about who you are. And your mirror gets brighter. And you get liberated. And your story can just fall away from you. Because you're far more than your story. You're this glorious, multidimensional being. And the ego mind will go, oh, well, that's ridiculous. But that ego mind doesn't understand or know that part of you. And with every step you take, you are in service to humanity. Because when you break something within you, a core piece, what happens is the threads that are interwoven through humanity are broken. So there's not so much of a hold of the fear or the struggle that is perpetuating through humanity. You actually help to break some of those pieces that are just holding the density down on the planet. And this is our time for self-liberation and being in service consciously. Because when you consciously choose to step into service, something happens. You actually move into another level of your self-realization process. Because we have said yes to being in service this lifetime, at this juncture, on the earth plane. Every one of us here, when you consciously step forward and saying, I'm choosing to let go, to work with this, so that I can be liberated, but so that the world, humanity, can also be liberated. And you commit to that one moment in time, just one moment, of holding yourself with that love and compassion and patience for all that you have gone through, for all the suffering. For the path that we have walked, all of us, none of us has had an easy path. You cannot measure suffering. One is not more than the other. We're different, yes. We all have different stories, yes. But the suffering is never one more than the other. One may appear more apparent on the outside, but inside, the internal suffering can be great. And it's time to hold ourselves, the human part, with that love and compassion, to allow that human part to rest. So you undo and unravel the knots, and as you do, your service in the world expands. Because we are multidimensional beings with a limitless capacity of holding our own light and creators of our own light. We can bring that weaving into the world through our own hearts. We can interweave the love and allow it to start flowing from our hearts first to our human part that needs the love, that needs to know that the love exists, not for that person out there, but for this human being in here. You deserve that love for yourself, for the human part. And the love is like a balm. It has a nutrition to it The energy of the love within our hearts, within the God light that we are, feeds and nutrition through the cells of the body. It actually rejuvenates the cells, rejuvenates the organs, that self-love. But it also holds that human part with a love that is not experienced in this lifetime. It's an unconditional love that nourishes the spirit and brings rest to the human aspect. And we need that rest. And that conscious breath, when you bring that conscious breath, that it's a breath in and out the mouth, it says, yes, I'm willing to let go. And yes, I'm willing to receive my love, my light, my God light. And you just let go, and that essence flows in. And the density that's like a natural shedding that just falls away, the old wounds, the old belief systems, the old habits of maybe trying to do it right all the time, which is exhausting, or feeling like unless you do it perfectly, you won't be loved. And you're always looking for the love, for the acceptance, for belonging. There's some of the old cycles that get in the way and create a sabotaging in our lives. And they're really all ready to shed, just to move off with this new energetic, this new reset that is through our bodies right now. And as you choose those moments, again, your light grows brighter, your mirror grows brighter, so that you can move into humanity, being with other human beings in their idiosyncrasies, and not bring the judgment, just the love. Because we're all doing the very best we can at each moment as a human being. And sometimes it's not pretty, you know? Because when we get afraid, we get angry, or we lash out. And when someone is angry at you or rude, who knows what they're going through? What's happening in their lives to make them so sad, so aggressive? Compassion and love can come from you out to those human beings as you walk, as you do the shopping, as you move through the world. That is service in action. And it's about being conscious in moments when you're with people and taking that conscious breath and just allowing yourself to feel you, not separating out, not going to your ego mind, because guess what? Someone's being unpleasant. But taking a conscious breath, and maybe even you can casually just do this and bring your awareness to your heart and take a breath and allow maybe a moment of that compassion flowing out to somebody else. But that's only if you've allowed yourself to do that for yourself, at least once before. Because once you have done that once with yourself, it's within your mirror, within your reflection. And it allows it possible for you to do that for another human being. It doesn't mean they know that. But you're simply just, that person's very rude. You just bring your awareness and take a conscious breath and bring the love to them. Just love. And compassion for whatever it is that's going on, because no one is rude without a reason. And it's about opening up this compassion for humanity. That is really service, but it's got to start here. If it's not here, then it doesn't work. And the ego mind will say, oh yeah, that, I can do that, and it's all up here, all up here. It's not in your mirror. not in your energy. It's all here, an idea of the ego mind, being greater than somebody else and having, yes, being that much better than this person who's being rude. Oh yeah, I'll just, yeah, it's almost condescending. Instead of a clear essence of love going out to that person. And that's it, just love. You're touching with your consciousness humanity. You're reaching out with your awareness. So I'm coming through here. I can feel all of you in this room, all of you individually. I can see the beauty of your own light, every one of you from here. I'm filled with you. I'm conscious of being here in my own heart. And I can feel the vastness of the love out there with all of you. And in this moment, for me, there's only oneness. There's the love. And that is service in motion. Because I am committed to myself and my own inner introspection, my own human element of vulnerability. And I bring that love to myself in as many moments as possible. And it allows me then to move that love and feel all of you. And that is service in action. And you all have that capacity to do this, to start shifting into service where no one else knows of it. It's not from the mind, feeling fantastic about doing that, how great that is, how great am I, I can do this. No, it's my natural extension of myself, of my love, that I am connected to directly from the higher realms of myself, moving outwards effortlessly, unlimited. I'm not drained by it, exhausted by it. I have an unlimited abundance of love that I am. That is my God light. And you too have your God light to shine forth. And you shine it forth downwards first through yourself, touching yourself with those brilliant rays of your own love, filling yourself just one moment at a time. That is your spiritual practice. That is you in action, in service. And then you take another conscious breath and let go. And I let go. I'm breathing, I'm letting go. I'm connected and committed right here as I'm here with each one of you. This is my core. This is my central place. And from here, from my central place of my heart, this is where all things arise. This is the center of this resonant universe, right here, with my own divine, unique signature of God love, of God light. And each one of you are being called forth to begin to activate in service this part of your spiritual practice, because it's simply the time and the energy that is on our earth plane right now in support of you in doing this is incredible. It's about claiming your aspect of the God consciousness, that Christ consciousness energy that seeded through you is active and waiting to be utilized, to be self-realized through you. Self-realizing yourself through you, that God light that you are. One moment at a time. Remember, you are who you've been waiting for. I love that. To me, that's everything. Because it says to me that no one out there can stop me. I am. I am. There is nothing outside of me I need. I resource all from here within. And nothing interferes with that. I am. Anchoring that truth, and it is a truth, with those words creates an absolute quickening through me every time. And you're being asked to build your temple within yourself, to come home to that temple of light. And if anyone's interested after this work with the seminar, we'll be working with that. We'll be working with this, activating this new Christed-seeded energy within you. So I'm holding a platform. This is my platform, right here, right within me, for each one of you to take another step wherever you are on your path, to take another step home to yourself through this spiritual practice of being of service. And I wish to honor each one of you and all that you are in this moment. So be it.
I have wandered this world all around, seen all the wonder that abounds, all in an effort to ease my melancholy, to steep my loneliness in beauty. Mother Earth has been a teacher to me. I feel her rhythms inside me. She never fights the wind or the flow of the water. She knows they are a part of her. So I enter melancholy landscapes freely. I drink in the loneliness as deeply as can be. I follow the darkness until I feel there is no end. Here's where the mystery begins. And out of the melancholy a joy fills me. Out of the loneliness emerges unity. And out of the darkness a light vistas of beauty beyond measure, and I am home, home, home. I am home, home, home. No matter where I go, no matter what I think, no matter who I'm with, no matter how I feel, I am home, home, home. I am home, home, home.
Well, what a beautiful circle we make. And each one of us carries that, our own God light, our own unique divine frequency to make up this beautiful circle. Ashatai, Ashe Om Daine A, Ashe Om, Ashe O. Let's just open this circle up, consciously bringing the essence of ourselves into this circle. Ashatai A. We're going to send this energy of our light outwards across the country, just allowing this circle to flow outwards. May the essence of this circle hold each one of us as we move back outwards into our world. So be it. Ho, Amen.